Now, before talking to issues of the boycott and the experience we have with our erstwhile apartheid regime and the lessons from there, I also want to talk about the resistance. I think that correctly, people are grieving. And people are extremely depressed with the situation, the images, the wanton destruction, the carnage they see. But in all our demonstrations, while cataloguing the crimes against humanity, the bombing of schools, of hospitals, of universities, of children, the abhorrent and appalling atrocities, including the case that I'm sure you've read about, where over 100 people were herded into a one-story house, kept there for over 24 hours, and then the house shelved. Half of these people were children, and then made to walk the 30 survivors to the hospital. You've heard of the case of Zaytun in the place where for 4 days emaciated babies were suckling their dead mothers and nothing could be done. And I can go on and on. And it's very easy in this situation to become paralyzed. But we've been impressing on two people at these marches that we need to take a leaf from the Palestinian resistance. The word that they use is samut, roughly translated meaning steadfastness. And because of the steadfastness, Palestinians are able to frustrate every kind of trick and betrayal again and again and again. Despite the massacres, despite the bribery, ordinary Palestinians have again and again supported those who refuse to compromise, who refuse to sell out. Now, we also take succor from some of our poets, some of our writers. In the past few weeks, I've read inspiring and brilliant tracts from the likes of John Berger, Alice Walker, and numerous others. And I want to refer to a poem written by June Jordan, the late June Jordan. She wrote this poem during the first Gulf War, in inverted commas. And she said, and we can substitute the city of Baghdad for Gaza today and change a few details and it'll still be appropriate. She said, the bombing of Baghdad began and did not terminate for 42 days and 42 nights. Relentless, minute after minute, more than 110,000 times. We bombed Baghdad, we bombed Basra, we bombed the National Museum, we bombed schools, we bombed air raid shelters, we bombed water, we bombed electricity, we bombed hospitals, we bombed everything that moved, we bombed everything that did not move. We bombed the darkness, we bombed the daylight. We bombed them and we bombed them and we cluster bombed the citizens of Iraq and we sulfur bombed the citizens of Iraq and we complemented these bombings, these sorties with Tomahawk, cruise missiles, which we shot repeatedly by the thousands upon thousands into Iraq. You understand, Iraqi Scud missiles is, quote, militarily insignificant, and we do not mess around with insignificant. And she ends this epic poem with these words. And this is for Crazy Horse, singing as he dies, because I live inside his grave, and this is for the victims of the bombing of Baghdad, because the enemy traveled from my house to blast your homeland into pieces of children and pieces of sand. And I am cheering for the arrows and the braves. And I am cheering for the arrows and the braves. Now, what's happening in Gaza is not about this militarily insignificant rockets. It's not only about the elections in Israel. The intention really is to continue the ethnic cleansing. It's to, in fact, have a genocide. When Azmi Bishara came to South Africa during the Israeli Apartheid week last year, he talked about how Palestinians refuse to be the modern-day American Indians. And this is the intention. So that one day we can have innocuous magnets on the refrigerators of our consciousness and talk about Palestinians and their civilization in the way we talk about the indigenous people of the Americas. That is the intention. And if we understand that, then we will understand why there has been this elusive peace from 1948 to today. We will understand why this particular massacre today happening is a continuation of massacres since the formation of the State of Israel. And it's not going to be the last one. From Deir Yassin through Sinai in 67, Deir Yassin in 1948, to Sabra and Shatila, to Qana twice in 1996 and 10 years later. This is going to continue. And we'll also understand why, despite the Oslo Accords and the Wye River Accord, right up to Annapolis, despite all of that, settlements continue to be built. The apartheid wall continues to be constructed. Houses continue to be demolished. Assassinations continue. And close to 12,000 people in the Israeli dungeons remain there. Many of them children and women, and many there because of military kangaroo courts, or even not even that, without trial, in the same way we had the situation in South Africa.